This is the first pedal demo that I've ever done, so bear with me. And this is a fuzz circuit that I built myself with some help from Paul Puntry at DIYguitarpedals.com.au. And it's a really cool pedal, so I'm going to run you through some of the different settings and show you some of the different sounds it can make. And today we're going to be playing out of a Blues Junior, somewhere from the 90s, and the Telecaster that I built myself quite a few years ago. So there's my cat back there. Alright, let's get to it. This is a chart that I put together to kind of catalog some of the different fuzz settings and the adjustments for the potentiometers so that you can achieve those settings. And then of course there's everything in between. So you have some kind of middle of the road fuzz tones and some distortions. And then you also have some very interesting, what I call radio wave noises that the pedal can make, and also the very extreme fuzzy stuff, which is a lot of fun. On the pedal you have a tone control right here, and then this is a volume control, and on the top from left to right is a gain control, compression, stability, and a gate. Alright, I'm going to start with the pots all the way up. This is kind of just a middle of the road fuzz sound out of the pedal. But first, the clean signal, neck pickup. Alright, let's kick it on. Alright, this is the same effect we just listened to, but it's got a little bit more sustain to it. Alright, so when you actually dial everything down all the way, I think this is kind of the next step in a more fuzzy tone out of the pedal. As you can see, the volume kind of has to be adjusted as you adjust the settings. Sometimes certain things will raise or lower that volume level, so. I think this is probably the most fuzzy sound out of the pedal without losing it, which we'll do here in a second. So check it out. Well, I don't think that leaf blowing is going to stop. And in the spirit of that, this setting is really bit crunchy and breaks up and sounds like crap, but in the best way ever. So check it out. It really cuts those notes off and actually kind of takes them down through different octaves. Like when you play a higher note, I'll just hold this high E and see what happens. Or a little bit higher of a note. pretty awesome. Love that sound. Alright, now that we kind of got some of the fuzz tones out of the way, I'll show you what the pedal will do once you dial in a little bit more of a distortion with a lot more sustain to it. More heavier distortion, a little more sustain to it, a little more aggression. This one, when you're not giving the pedal a signal, will give you a little bit of like this weird feedback humming sound. So you can kind of hear that change as I adjust that potentiometer right here for stability, but when you play, it goes away. So, pretty cool effect. I probably failed to mention earlier, but the pedal has 2 germanium transistors and one, what I believe is a silicone transistor in it. So, it's cool that you can get such a range of sounds out of those transistors and the way they work together. So, I'll go ahead and show you some other kind of interesting things that the pedal does here. So, there are a few what I call radio wave noises that the pedal can make without any signal. When you give them a signal, it overdrives these radio wave noises, and you'll actually get a signal out of the pedal with them. But it's pretty cool. So I got the volume down because they kind of occur non-stop. So turn that up a little bit. This is a high-pitched sound that it can make. Pretty freaking cool. And if you're able to play a note and ring it out while you turn that knob, some kind of interesting things happen. So I'll go ahead and show you another setting where those noises are a little bit more lower pitched. And that's this one. So you kind of have like a mid-range on those weird noises. I think it kind of sounds like a siren, like. Which is kind of cool. And the final setting that I'll show you for the noises, those radio wave noises, is the lowest pitch. And there are different combinations you can use with these potentiometers to kind of achieve the tones from different spots. So, my camera quit working for some reason there for a second, but I was going to show you some of the low-pitched noises that this thing can make in this setting. So, and if you play a note, meanwhile. Kind of interesting that this thing can do all that stuff too. But all in all, I think this pedal was a super awesome project, and I really love the versatility out of the sounds, and I can use it for all kinds of stuff, from rocking out classic rock stuff to like Black Keys and all kinds of different things. So I painted it white, and I got these really cool orange knobs on eBay, and I only put a blue LED in it because I didn't have an orange one. So it was fairly a moderate process of fitting it in this 1590 BB enclosure, and then I had to measure and drill all the right holes for everything. So you know, that always kind of makes it a little more complicated, but when you have 6 potentiometers in one box, and the switch and the light and the jacks and all that stuff. Anyways, this was an awesome project, and I'll plan on sharing more of them with you guys in the future. In fact, this pedal right here is one that I built right before this, this white one, and it's got 3 germanium transistors in it, and it's a clone of the Solasound tone bender, which is something Jimmy Page was really famous for using a lot. And it's also a really cool pedal, much more of like what reminds me of like a big muff. So maybe I'll do a review on that one next. But all right, thanks guys.